these things up in the background. Are you going to do the treasurer's report first, right?
I'm actually going to let Sina go first. I'm going to switch the order and I'll do the treasurer's report second. Sina has
As
to,
far as sharing, sorry.
oh, yeah, Sina won't have anything to share.
Okay.
So yes, that will be the first thing.
Okay,
And then nothing to share until the very end of the meeting.
okay. I found the wrong thing here. I have to find out the board meeting. What did you name the board meeting, document?
The treasurer's report?
No, the other one with the schedule.
Oh, let me just look. It's called 2026-2027 board meeting dates. Yeah, it's a PDF.
That's
I emailed it at
got it.
8:47.
Okay. Take that off. Okay.
Zoom is open. Will you be able to monitor the chat?
Yeah. I can do that.
Because I won't be able to do that while I'm.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hey, Barry.
So you got a full house there.
It is really lonely in here. Julie and me.
Good morning, Julie. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Barry?
Uh, every day's better than the last.
I like that.
Positive attitudes. I would
Mm.
love it.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, is it locked? I don't know.
Oh, that's why it's.
Yeah, maybe we locked the door.
Hello. Are you coming in? Yes.
But it's like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay.
Okay. That's one way to keep participation down.
There you go.
How's the weather up there, Barry?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's in the 70s here. Sun shining. We had a horrible weekend. It was rained all weekend. I mean,
Hmm.
from Friday to Tuesday it rained. And Tuesday it got nice. Mhm.
How about you, Skip?
It's a very pretty day here today. It's on the cool side. I think it's like upper 50s today. But rain's supposed to come back tomorrow.
50s is warm for you, Skip, right?
Pardon?
50s are warm for you. Do you ever hit 70s up there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week I was out playing golf and it was 90.
Oh, you beat me here. You beat me here.
Yeah, it's up and down. It's trying to decide whether it's summer yet.
Right, right. I think we're finally getting into summer in New York now. Finally, I think it's on an upward trend. It was in the 50s over the weekend. It was horrible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I see Skip still has a sweatshirt on.
Hmm.
I think that
Got
tells us that
My Jupiter sweatshirt.
There
you're
you go.
representing.
I don't know. I think I trade you weather today. It's hot and humid.
Mhm.
It's gonna rain all week.
How are we doing with the rollers or the garage door project? Anything going on with that, Julie?
No,
I'm
we're
gonna,
still waiting for overhead door. I was gonna follow up with them because he hasn't heard back.
Mhm.
He couldn't find those rollers.
Well, I was with Steve. Did Steve talk to you? Because we did some investigation on it and found the name of the manufacturer of the doors.
yeah, I'm actually gonna talk about it, Barry, under Steve's.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give a brief update on that.
Mhm. Okay.
Mary Lou's on the wrong side of the table. You're muted. We can't have that, Mary Lou.
I'll only unmute myself to say hello to everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hello.
See you all. Looking so
We
good.
we miss you.
Yeah,
You,
definitely.
I said to Julie, I miss sitting on the balcony, looking at the ocean. Anyway, here we are. I'll go back and mute myself now.
Okay.
Hi, Mary Lou, before you mute yourself.
And hi, Barry.
Didn't hear from Rosa. No.
I'm sorry.
Rosa texted
Oh,
me to
okay.
see if she's coming or she's gonna be on Zoom.
Yeah, everybody's traveling somewhere good right now. Rick is in Italy. Steve's on his way to New
Nice.
York. Yeah.
How was your trip, Ann?
Oh, it was lovely. It was 10 days with my daughter. I mean, what could be better?
Uh, that works.
Slowly getting over the jet lag, getting back. It seems to take longer each year. Morris has joined us. Ellen,
Morning.
hello.
Good morning.
We're still waiting on Sina.
Okay.
So this may be a first. We have nobody in the room.
I
We have
know.
driven everyone away.
One person.
I can't
I
believe,
think Jean is coming in, but she said
Yeah.
she'll be back. I don't know.
I guess our agenda wasn't very enticing. There's Sina.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you, Sina?
Okay, I have a little stressed. I have to leave for the city on the train, and there was a fire in Penn Station, so now
We're gonna let you go first so you can catch your train.
I don't know, or I'll just be sitting by the train
Okay.
station.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock, so we're gonna go ahead and start the meeting. In the room, we have myself, Ann Cano, President, and Julie Gonzalez, and that is it. That's the only people who are here. I'm calling the meeting to order. And as you know from prior meetings, the meeting is being recorded, and the protocol to follow is for anyone who speaks during the meeting, you'll be deemed to have consented for the recording. There's a reminder, this is a reminder that there's a chat feature in Zoom. So if you do want to comment, please go to the chat feature. Julie is monitoring the chat, and we will get to your comments and
Keep
questions.
trying.
We have one person in the room. Okay. Gina's just joined us. Okay, so I'd like to establish a quorum of the board. So I'm here, Ann Cano, President. Barry, go ahead.
Barry Skolnick, Vice President.
Howie,
Howie Levine, board member.
Sina,
Thomasina Mastriani, board member.
and Skip.
Skip Cornelius, Secretary.
So Steve Morris and Rick Riccobono are traveling today and will be unable to join us, but we do have 5 members of the board, so we do have a quorum. In terms of proof of notice of the meeting, it was timely posted and emailed to all owners on Wednesday, May 27th. In terms of approval of minutes of the board meeting held on April 24th, 2026, do I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and to approve them?
Motion.
I'll second it.
Barry Skolnick moved, Sina seconded. Is there any discussion?
No.
No, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? The motion carries unanimously. The minutes are approved. So we're going to move the order of the agenda around in order to allow Sina to go first, as she has a conflict. So Sina, could you please start by giving us a legal update?
Okay, well, just want to inform everyone, we're working on a review of our governing documents and a proposal, and to also work on a compliance committee. So we're reviewing and updating our governing documents. They were last reviewed in 2022. And so we're doing that now, but the goal is not to burden the owners with more rules. By reviewing it, we want to modernize the framework that governs the community so it works effectively. Many condo documents were drafted years ago. Laws and technology, insurance requirements, and everyday living standards have changed. So that's what we're particularly looking at. There's been practices that we've adopted that were not in the original documents, which have become common practices by the association and the owners, and they should be incorporated in our governing documents to reflect the current status. We want to make sure that the governing documents don't conflict with current state laws or fail to address modern issues like electronic communication, remote meetings, leasing restrictions, maintenance responsibilities. By updating it, the community can clarify rules, responsibilities, ensure compliance, create more transparent and consistent governing, and by updating our governing documents, it's really about protecting and improving the community for everyone. We're not changing the character of the community. We just want to make sure that we're in compliance. So we're working on that, and hopefully in a few months, we'll be able to report and have everything reviewed. It's a little lengthy process. The other issue that I'm working on is the compliance committee. As you may recall, a few months ago, we adopted rules and regulations to ensure that our community functions. Now, 95% of the unit owners are in compliance, but the issue is, what do we do for that person or that small percentage that's not in compliance? Without an enforcement mechanism, the rules are useless. Many condo communities, they've enacted committees. Building 400 has a compliance committee, which works for them. So that's what we're looking to set that up. It has to be set up in accordance with Florida statute. The statute says what we have to do, and we're going to work on establishing it, which involves, we have to have a protocol and people on the committee. The compliance committee members cannot be members of the board. They cannot be spouses or relatives of the boards or related to employees. So we're going to reach out to unit owners who might consider being on the compliance committee. And just so you understand, as the committee member, you don't have to be the person to find the violation. You're just going to be the person that would review the sanctions and recommend to the board what should be done. So if you're interested at any point in time in serving, please reach out to us, but we will come up with more information on the compliance committee details shortly. Any questions or anything else, Anne?
No, that's a great update. Thank you, Sina. I just want to comment for people who don't know, Sina is an attorney and a judge in New York State, and she's working on this project together with Mary Lou, who we all know her legal background. So we're very fortunate to have two great legal minds working on this together tirelessly throughout the summer. Because what else would you rather do than work on the governing docs during this summer?
I do want to, I'm sorry, Mary Lou, I didn't see you were here. I want to point out that she has been fabulous. Mary Lou, she's off the board, but she still has the same energy with her. So we thank her.
Well, Mary Lou has a title. It's Special Envoy to the Board Forever. That is her title. So, Mary Lou, do you want to add anything about the governing docs, about the compliance committee, any specific issues you want to highlight right now?
No, I have nothing to add, and I think Sina's report was perfect and complete.
Okay. Okay, thank you both. So we will continue to report on this. The process will be that once they have a draft that they are satisfied with to present to the owners, that's a first draft. The owners will see that draft and can react to it in a board meeting, and adjustments will be made if necessary. And then there'll be a vote by the owners about changing the governing document. So this is going to be, as always, a very transparent process that owners will be fully involved in every step of the way and can give feedback when that time comes. So thank you, Sina, for your report. Moving on, I'm going to give the treasurer's report for Rick Riccobono as he is traveling. So Julie, may I ask you to share the presentation on the screen? All right, we can go to the first page for the year-to-date April results. Okay, so what we have here is a summary of our year-to-date April results. On the revenue line, there's really not much interesting to report. You can see there are almost no variances to budget. The only variance we have is in the all other revenue category. We do not budget for interest income that we receive on our reserves, and we have a substantial reserve balance, as you'll see on the next sheet. So year to date, we have 25,000 in unbudgeted reserve interest income, and that's what you're seeing as part of that revenue actual positive variance. On the expense side, just going line by line quickly, on the administrative line, we do have a negative variance of about 3,000, and that's because these expenses on the administrative line are front loaded. We do pay, like everyone else, our income tax in April, and we had $18,000 in income tax expense for 2025, and that was on the reserve interest that we earned. So that was not unexpected, but it is front loaded. So that's why you see that negative variance there. On the property insurance, similar situation, also front loaded. We have an annual expense for insurance that we pay in 9 payments. And those 9 payments are front loaded. And then we have 3 months in the summer before the renewal where we make no payments. So what you're seeing on the property insurance line is the fact that we're almost at the end of the 9 payments for the full fiscal year for property insurance. Utility also front loaded because of seasonal loading of electricity and gas expense associated with the pool. Salaries and compensation, we did have the vacancy in the administrative assistant position. So that created a positive variance in terms of salary expense for the first few months of the year. In terms of repairs and maintenance, we also have a positive variance. We do have a contingency fund in the repair maintenance category, and we have not had to tap into that. So that's a $23,000 year-to-date positive variance. So all in all, for net income and loss, so far year-to-date, we're at 13.8 thousand in a year-to-date surplus for 2026. So we can go on to cash and delinquencies. Okay, so what you see here is that we track our cash every month, and in the operating expense, no news there. It's exactly where we expect it to be. The reserves have also held steady. The special assessment account is growing as we are starting to collect our May 1st special assessment of $3,100 per unit. On owner receivables, we still have a surprising number of current special assessments due, and that's what you see there on the 93,851 in current receivables. That is almost all special assessments. We've sent out multiple emails to owners to remind them to check whether their payment has gone through. Particularly those of you who are using ClickPay, I would encourage you to make sure that your payment went through. Some owners feel that because they've had their quarterly payments on auto pay, that their special assessment payment will also automatically be on auto pay. That is not the case. You actually have to manually set it to auto pay, which seems kind of backward, but you do. So you will today, we're going to send an email out to the 20 or so owners who have not, whose payments we have not received, just to check in to make sure. So look for an email today. I think we'll also be making some phone calls because starting on May 31st, interest and fees, late penalties will start to accrue. So we'd really like to avoid that for everybody. And that is really it for cash and delinquencies. And then as far as work in progress, we are working on the 2025 financial audit. Our auditor is Hafer and Company. As you probably know, there are 3 different levels of review services for financial statements. The lowest level is called a compilation. The medium level is review, and the highest level of scrutiny is called the audit. And we engage in the audit every year and budget expense for that. And the audit firm, for those of you who are not familiar with what an audit does, it's an independent third-party evaluation of our transactions, bank balances, payments, and they provide an independent financial opinion of their accuracy. So that's an important financial control check and balance that we do every year, and that's in process now. We're expecting a first draft of the audit by June 1st. And once we have a final draft, it will, of course, be shared with all owners, and it will be posted to the website for your review. And that's all that I have for the treasurer's report. So moving on to the building update, Barry is going to provide that update. And I'd just like to let everybody know, Barry works all year long on our building, whether he is here or not. He is constantly on top of various building and systems issue, working in tandem with Kurt and Julie. And he's just tireless in how he continues to work on that, whether he's here or not. So I certainly appreciate that. And you all should be aware of what he does. So with that, Barry, go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Ann. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to give a state of the building update on some present projects we're in and some that have been completed. The first one I would like to talk about is the concrete restoration project. That is in the wrap-up stage. We've passed the punch list stage, and there's just a few items left that need to be attended to. But we can say this is a closed-out project at this point, except for a few items left. And I personally want to thank Julie and for all her help on having eyes on the ground and all your assistance and screaming and yelling at Pedro. I really want to thank you. It was a great team effort by everybody. It was a tough 2 years for the community, but we're on the other side of it right now, and we have a better building to talk about going forward in the future. So that's an update on the restoration project. It was painful, but it got finished, and bottom line, we can move on from there. The next one I want to talk about is another finished project, which is a ventilation system for the garage. We have gotten to the point that we had no ventilation within the garage. Air was becoming stagnant. I was concerned about carbon monoxide from idling cars. So the team pushed ahead and we repaired the ventilation system, which consisted of 2 large exhaust fans. You might hear them when you're walking outside by the front of the building. They're constantly on, and they're moving air within the garage. So they're working. That's great. Makes my mind a little bit more easy, especially with the chlorine in the pool air, room. So that's done. And then we've also installed exhaust fans, ventilation fans in each of the storage rooms to keep the air moving and it doesn't get stagnant in there, and it moves forward and cleans the air out. So that project has been completed, all done. So thank you very much for everybody that worked with us on it. Next one I want to talk about is the FPE electrical panels project. That's ongoing. We've replaced a lot. We've gotten unit owners to replace a good percentage of them, but there are still additional ones left in the building, and we're going to start addressing those. Julie's going to help send an email out to all the unit owners that we feel still have the old panels in there to try and nudge them along to replace them. So that's an ongoing project that we're working on. That will take me to the next ongoing project, is a dryer vent project that is gotten momentum, but I think the momentum has stopped on it. Being it's summertime, there's not a lot of people here. Plus, they're not using the dryer, so it's like out of sight, out of mind. But we'd like to move that forward with getting in people's ears. Hopefully, when they come back, we can proceed with continuation of the project. So that is an update on the dryer vents, where another project we're working on is the roof. Roof needs some repairs. We had the engineer do the yearly inspection on a COF, and he has brought some points up that we need to look into and get repaired. Some of this has been related to the concrete restoration project. So we're going to be able to hopefully get some help from the contractor, Blue Coast, on making these repairs on the roof on it. And last but not least, we're in the process of adding some security cameras to some areas within the building. So we have a better method of tracking people that are non-compliant in certain areas and overall safety for everybody. Even though we are in a gated community, there is multiple access points within the building fence area that people can get in. So we're adding a few more cameras, and that's forthcoming on it. So that's basically the update on the state of the building. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Barry. And if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat. We're going to have a time for questions and answers at the end of the after we finish new business. So go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, and I promise we will get to them. Okay, so I'd like to move on to the capital projects part of the agenda, and that is handled by Steve Morris. He is traveling today, so I'm going to give a quick update as to what is happening there. So as you know, we've been talking about refurbishing the elevator landings. That is the little lobbies right in front of the elevator on each floor. And as part of that, we've also want to replace the windows. The windows that are currently there are original to the building, we believe, and they no longer function properly. Some of them are leaking, and it's an important project because it's also protection to the envelope of the building. So it needs to be a hurricane-rated secure point, part of the envelope. So as part of that, Steve, Barry, and I, and Julie are working together to develop and to move forward with the project. And the first part of that will be getting an engineer. It was first a question of whether we even needed an engineer, but again, because it is part of the perimeter of the building, it needs to be hurricane rated. These are custom products, and they're expensive products. This project will probably be in the neighborhood of $100,000, give or take. We do have those funds in the reserves, so there is no concern that you will get a special assessment for this. We have saved for these, but we are at the point of putting together an RFP to get engineering bids. And what the engineers will do is put together the specifications for the window, ensure that we are in compliance with all statutes and building codes. Then they will help us through the bidding process, identifying the candidates for bidding, leveling the bids, helping us make a selection. And then if we choose to use them, they will be supervising the installation and ensuring that we are getting the top quality installation of the windows that we need. And one area about this project that we're pursuing is trying to coordinate with Building 300. They are also in the process of replacing their elevator landing windows. And we thought, number one, coordination could be good learning for both of us as we coordinate information, but we also there may be economies of scale to be had by purchasing the windows together from one vendor. We found a very willing partnership with them. Their timing may be a little different, so we'll see how that partnership goes. But I think this is a positive area of coordination with other Ocean Trail buildings to achieve economies of scale when we can. As part of the elevator landing refurbishment, there is also a cosmetic component that we've been talking about for years. It's time to update them cosmetically. We do not want to do that until the windows themselves are installed. We do not know how disruptive the installations will be to the wall. We don't know if there will be minor concrete restoration that has to happen in those openings. So we just thought it made sense from a sequencing standpoint to do the window installation first and then proceed with the refurbishment. We're fortunate to have the talents of the beautification group made up of Carolyn Carilli, Alberta Infantolino, and Carolyn Gates, and they have been working on putting together designs for the elevator landings. Once they have two visions to consider, we will present those at a board meeting to owners. Owners will have a chance to give input on them and ultimately to vote on them, because we want this to be something that reflects the vision of the entire building, not just of a few. So owners will have the opportunity to vote and give input. You'll hear us talking about it in the coming months, but rest assured it will not happen without your input. So that's where we're going now. In the meantime, we may pursue a refresh of the lobby, and the refresh would simply be updating the furniture, which, as most of you have seen, is quite dingy and dated at this point, and needs a refresh. This will not be a large expenditure, relatively speaking. And again, maintaining the lobby area is a reserve item that we have saved for. So at this point, we do not foresee any assessments coming out of these projects. The other project I just wanted to mention are the garage doors. As you've probably seen, one or the other garage door seems to be having an issue every week. The controllers for our garage gates are old and need to be replaced. These are not inexpensive items. Replacing all 4 controllers could be somewhere in the area of $40,000. So it's a purchase that we are pursuing very carefully and thoughtfully. Also, as part of that, the hardware of the garage gates may need to be updated. The rollers on those doors are very old and very worn. Steve Morris and Barry are working together to pursue the hardware to see if a simple fix can be done by replacing the hardware. It's in process to see, but we're trying to start with a minimal approach first, but still doing it correctly. So stay tuned for more developments on that. I know it's frustrating to see the garage gates open and not functioning all the time as they should be, but no, we're pursuing it carefully because it is a more expensive project. That's all that I have for the capital projects update. We will now move on to the Ocean Trail Unit Owners Association update. And unfortunately, you have to listen to me some more. Tina Morris, who is our 200 Ocean Trail representative, is traveling today. So she has given me a written report that I'm going to read to you. So for those of you who aren't aware, Ocean Trail Unit Owners Association is the master association. We also call it 201. They had a meeting yesterday, and so what I'm sharing now is an update from that meeting yesterday. So the first topic is Town of Jupiter Water Capacity Reserve and current usages. John and Lewis, who are, I believe, the maintenance staff over at OTUOA, have worked very hard on reducing the overall OTUOA water usage, finding leaks, etc. Significant reductions have been achieved in the last 2 years. Spa, pool, and other leaks in the clubhouse area have been eliminated. Gatehouse water usage was also reduced due to a big leak in the road. Overall, this will result in significant savings, both in terms of water bills and Town of Jupiter water capacity overage charges. The next topic is addressing the dead grass and sod on the property. Fresh sod will be put down in November to allow the grass to take better and not die over the summer. Third topic, entrance fountains maintenance and feasibility. The board decided to maintain the fountain pool water quality with additional chemical additions and cleaning by the pool company until a plan to redevelop the entrance area has been agreed upon. The board agrees that there is no point in spending significant additional funds to repair the fountains if the area will be redeveloped later. So I know that we all get frustrated with the queues at the front gate, and that is an area that the board at 201 is reviewing. it's just not an easy fix, and it's a quite expensive fix, and it's one that may require an assessment of owners. So when that happens, obviously things move more carefully and slowly. So it's not that the board doesn't understand that it's an issue, it's that they are pursuing it carefully. So the fourth topic is the bocce court update. The board approved a proposal by Bulldog Construction that will finish the bocce court as soon as a permit from the town of Jupiter has been obtained well ahead of next season. Fifth topic, 2026 reserve study. You may have gotten that email that the board approved the 2026 reserve study report and will take findings into consideration for the 2027 budget development. So again, take a look at your emails and on the website for that full reserve report. And finally, the Wallace Land Survey. As you may have heard, OTUOA has been undertaking a project to survey our property because the property lines were not clear. The final report of the study should be available within the next couple of weeks and establish the definitive property boundaries of Ocean Trail, as well as any additional survey information from around the buildings. The perimeter information will be used to address the mangrove maintenance issue with Town of Jupiter to establish how much of the mangroves in the estuary belong to our property and are subject to our maintenance. And that is the Ocean Trail Unit Owners Association report, which Tina was kind enough to provide. Moving on to new business, this is a quick reminder to owners regarding the rules and regulations and communicating those to your guests. So as the weather has gotten even warmer and kids are getting out of school and people are taking vacations, we have had a significant increase in the number of guests and tenants here at Ocean Trail. We've had numerous incidents of glass bottles at the pool, food in the pool, drinks in the pool, and this is almost 100% related to guests and tenants. We don't have an issue with owners because they know the rules. If you have a guest, if you have a tenant, it is your responsibility to know the rules and to communicate that to them. If there are issues, owners are the ones who will be held responsible for any issues that will happen. And as we establish this compliance committee, fines may ensue. It's the least attractive part of being either a board member or management is to have to pursue owners and guests and ruin their fun. But some of these issues are safety issues, such as glass at the pool. We had one guest who broke wine glasses at the pool. There is no glass at the pool. So if you can please remember, inform yourself about what the rules are and communicate that to your guests, because ultimately we want to keep the pool area and our common areas safe and enjoyable for everyone to use. And that's all I have to say about that. So now we're the part of the agenda, questions and comments by owners.
Yeah, one question.
Yep. Do you want to go ahead, Julie?
Okay, so it says for Barry, thanks, great work. Can you please explain the 40-year milestone inspections for aging buildings?
The 40-year inspection is a SARS program. It's a state of Florida requirement. I'm going to ask Ann to jump in because she's done the last one to assist in answering this question.
So before Surfside, the building that collapsed, building high rises in South Florida were subject to something called the 40-year inspection or the 40-year milestone. When Surfside collapsed, there were a number of new pieces of legislation which were enacted that pulled forward the schedule for concrete surveys, structural component surveys, and that's what we live with now. That is called the SIRS report, Structural Integrity Reserve Study. So in 2023, all high rises in Florida above 3 stories and within 3 miles of the coast had to undertake SIRS reports, SIRS studies, which we did promptly in 2024 ahead of the deadline. That SIRS study has to be renewed every 10 years. So ours was done in 2024, completed in 24. So we would be legally required to do it in 2034. However, I foresee us doing it much sooner than that, just so that we stay on top of our components. You can see the results of the initial 40-year milestone study and our SIRS report are all on Connect on the website. If you're having trouble accessing that, you can contact the office and they will give you copies of that report. But it's a document that we actually look at very regularly to see where we are in terms of building systems that we need to update, adjusting our reserve contributions at budget time. So it's a very important operational document that is current and that we plan to keep current. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Ann.
So do we have any other questions? Okay, I don't see any. Do you want to share the calendar of the future board meetings?
Mhm.
So I just want to share this slide again. I'll probably share it at the end of every board meeting. These are our upcoming board meetings. We aim to have them every month with the exception of August. They will always be at 10 a.m. Eastern in the rec room and on Zoom. And if you're online, go ahead and take a picture of these dates. We don't plan on them changing. If they do, you'll receive an email, but make plans to attend and participate because that's how you stay informed. We do, as you've heard today, there's a lot going on, and this is the best way to stay informed of what the status is. Also, in terms of communication, at the bottom of the slide, you can see if you have a question for the board, the best way to send that is through our secretary, Skip Cornelius, with his email. And for the 201 board, Tina Morris is our representative, and you can see her email there. All right, so with no other business, and do we have, oh, Melanie has just asked a question.
Has a question as well.
Go ahead. Do you want to answer the question?
Oh,
Melanie.
Melanie.
Oh,
Okay, sorry.
online.
Who monitors the camera? Okay. Okay, Melanie. So she's asking who monitors the cameras, or do they just get looked at if something happens? So we have cameras in the office where Lauren and I can look at. Of course, we're busy doing work, so we do look at it, every so often. In between working, anytime somebody rings the front door, we look to see who's coming in. But mainly if something is reported, then we'll go back and look at the camera, if any issues are reported.
Carla?
Along with that, is there going to be cameras in the lobby, the elevator lobby? Because there have been several things being missed. If you put an ornament on your or decorative something, it doesn't stay there, it disappears. So when you redo the lobby, elevator lobby, are you going to put a little camera somewhere, or?
So the question in the room is, will there be cameras in the elevator lobbies after the refurbishment? And I think that's a to be determined issue, and it will be a cost issue because the cameras are surprisingly expensive. And so, yes, ideally we would love to have cameras everywhere, just in case. Adding 14 cameras would run into cost. So I think it's a to be determined issue. Barry, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Cameras are an important security to the building. And yes, I think we should look into a camera in the lobby facing out so it can be visible. But presently, we're putting in a camera in the hallway going into the garage, going to the package room. That's presently on one of the cameras that are going up. Then we'll look into the lobby also and see what we can come up with.
Go ahead, Carla.
And also, do we have a schedule for the landscaping of the big palm tree leaves that are coming out over the walkways? Are they going to be cut down periodically, or are we just going to let them float around?
So to which walkway do you mean, the one out to the beach? Do you want to address that?
Yeah, they were recently trimmed. I'll take a look at them again and I'll let Steve know if they need more trimming.
Does that, our landscaping people do that?
Yes, yes.
So the question,
Michael,
That
sorry.
wouldn't be an additional fund, would it?
No,
No,
it is
the landscaping people take care of the palm trees that we have here.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
so the question in the room was regarding palm tree leaves that are leaning into the walkway to the beach, and just general questions about who's responsible for maintaining it. It is our landscaper, Revival Landscaping. Trimming those leaves and keeping the walkways clear is their responsibility. It's not an extra charge. So Julie has committed to taking a look and communicating with Revival if we need to do that.
Welcome.
And I also would like to say, I hope that Lauren is a permanent employee because she answers the phone beautifully. She is very professionally dressed
Mhm.
and is very friendly, and it's really nice working with her.
Yes, I
So-
agree.
So let's hope that she will stay. She
Yes.
isn't just temporary, is that?
No,
right?
she's not temporary.
So she was hired full-time.
Yes, correct.
Good. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
She's really a nice addition, I think.
Yes. I
So the
think she's
comment
a
in the
great
room-
addition to our team also.
Yeah.
The comment in the room was a compliment for our new admin assistant, Lauren Rodriguez, and appreciating her professionalism and friendly demeanor. So a compliment for Lauren, and we all agree she's a great addition to the team. We do have one more question. Will the governor's proposed tax bill have a negative effect for our condo, or is it too early to speculate? Yeah, it's way too early to speculate, particularly because the tax breaks that are in that bill are going to be income dependent. So it may be more dependent on owners' personal incomes than it is particularly on our building as a whole. The homestead exemption in that tax bill is going to go up to 500,000 from 50,000. So I believe that would be a very positive impact for most of us. But just where those benefits are going to be phased in on a personal income basis, it remains to be seen. So I think we're all watching it and hoping for the best, but we don't have clarity yet. There's also pushback from some local organizations on that tax bill because it may reduce funding for local amenities like libraries. So I think that tax bill still has a ways to play out. I don't know if anyone else has other insight that they'd like to share on that bill. Crickets. Okay. All right.
We like crickets.
Okay. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Barry Skolnick motions to adjourn. Do I have a second? Howie seconds. Any discussion?
Negative.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.